Hey, this is Daniel from the blue corner.
And Chris from the orange corner.
And we're going to come to you today with an unboxing of an old man game from all the way in the olden days.
1995.
I wasn't even alive then. That's not true. That's not true. All right. Well, what game is this?
We have El Grande, the grandfather of, or at least viewed as the grandfather game of all area control games.
All right.
So yeah, I've wanted this game forever. I played it only actually a couple of times. I played it in college. One of my college roommates, he owned a copy, and we played it a couple times. It actually didn't resonate with me very well back then for whatever reason. It just didn't. Like,
not that shocked.
I was still like super into like Catan and stuff like that, and at the time it felt like it was so different than Catan and the other games that I was playing.
It's kind of like how you feel like Magic, right?
Right.
Catan's out there. Why play anything else?
Correct. Exactly. Keyforge is a great game, mostly to hold up a camera. But anyways, yeah. So. Didn't really resonate with me back then, but then as time went on, people kept talking about it, and so eventually I was like, I need to own this game. But then I'd go to look at it, and it was always a little more than I wanted to spend. I'm like whatever,
$20, 30.
No, but it would be like legitimately a new copy would be like $70, $80, which now is a normal price. But again, even 10 years ago, that was a little steep. So I'd always push it. I'm like, maybe next year. Well, maybe next year, and then every year it would get a little more expensive and a little farther. And I couldn't do it. Well. Recently, I paid off my school loans.
Ah, good.
So,
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Got that albatross off my back and neck. I felt like it was all over my body with how expensive that was.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I finally paid it off and wanted to do something that was equally grandiose or whatever you want to say. And I was like, I finally just need to own myself a copy of El Grande. So,
nice.
So I went up on the eBay and found a copy of the Decennial. I always forget I don't know how to pronounce that word, but it was the big box that came out in 2007. So finding a new and shrink copy from 2007. So
this is like a legitimate old game. This isn't a remake.
No,
I mean, it kind of is, but it's not like a modern remake.
Right. It was a big box, like reprinting in 2007.
It was remade when it's still like they didn't care about components and they didn't care about the way it looked. So they were like, we just reprinted it and we're gonna call it a better edition. What'd you do? Nothing.
Well, I mean, yes, it was state of the art at the time.
Okay.
But they did add all the expansions that come into that point. So there was that. Gotcha. It wasn't just a pure reprinting. They added the expansions and stuff.
Okay.
But then there was one that came out in 2015 that was also done that has everything here, plus this very small additional components that they added, but they didn't really move the needle very much. And then they also changed things to like really stupid decisions. Like instead of cubes, they were meeples.
Oh my gosh.
Why would you want meeples when you could have
cubes?
Fine precision cubes?
Oh my gosh.
Equal sides.
All right. Well, you know what? That's enough old man ranting. Let's go ahead and open this.
Let's open this bad boy.
I will say, when you told me you were going to get El Grande after you paid off your loan, I thought I was like, why are you telling me your Starbucks order? That seems a little weird.
It's true.
Yeah. So next we're going to open up Vente.
The Vente.
Yeah.
You know, the Grande is a piece in this game. Maybe we should make our own expansion with even a bigger cube than the Grande called the Venti. Have it for the game.
All right.
Oh, man. I'm excited about this. Oh, pretty well packaged. To whoever did this, I appreciate it.
That's true. Usually from Amazon, you just get it in a sack.
Well, this was eBay, so...
Okay, fair enough then. A little bit better.
Not bitter, are we?
No, not at all. I bought 2 copies of Marvel United in a bag.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep. After all this time, finally have a copy in my hands, in shrink, and obviously even in shrink after all these years, there's still going to be some amount of kind of box or shelfware. So, but even the corners, again, these aren't things I care about, but for the viewers out there that do, still actually in pretty good condition. The corners and everything.
I don't think that's shelfware. I think that's just the way they looked in 1997.
I mean, that's fair. That's also the plastic wasn't as thick.
Yeah,
so it got torn up.
New futuristic plastic.
Cutting edge plastic. Yeah. All right, so do I try to do the John thing?
No one can do it but John.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'm going to try. So I don't know, for our viewers that have seen our channel before, John could do this like weird.
All right. We're going to go back to the big screen.
Okay, so you can see this. So John, he like takes it and he like puts his hand on the front and then like pulls around the corner. I don't understand it at all, but somehow he's able to like pull the plastic and then like get a hold.
Yep. I don't know.
It's not
magic.
A thing. It's
how
witchcraft.
I do it? You know how I do it?
You just pull it off like a normal person?
No, I do this. You find the seams.
Okay, sure.
Because it's a box.
Right.
So you just take your fingers and
This one's
I can't
tough.
do it. This one's tough.
I got some long fingers, nails that I've let go.
Did
so
you
I was able to.
there you go. Yep. See,
so I was able to get it done.
You know, it's not a science. Some people we debate on the best way to do this.
Indeed.
But really, just the fingernail.
The fingernail.
That's all it takes. Smells like 2007.
Yes, exactly. And then also, like, everyone talks about they love that like linen finish on the cards. I actually don't like it, but this game box is covered in linen finish.
Oh yeah.
The reason I like it is like over time when you rub your hands on those cards long enough, eventually like it like leaves like this like
white
like grid on your cards, and I hate it. So, but the fact it's on the box is kind of interesting.
Yeah. So now it's just gonna make your wash out your box.
That's right.
It's gonna make it look like you actually played it.
Exactly.
Which we know won't actually happen.
That's true.
Because
I don't play games more than once.
That's
or
right.
Definitely don't want to. That's for sure. Oh man, getting this open is very difficult
right there.
For real.
Woo!
All right, got the box open.
Just throw that over there.
That's right.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, not gonna chuck the box after all this time. That's a nice little insert. I've never seen anything. Wow, it's kind of cool. Put it back in frame there because I'm a professional. But yeah, there's like a whole, just kind of FAQ almost, or almost like a part of the rule book. Just a big page about all the stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like a setup.
Yeah, and then there's like a
actually,
whole bunch of like rule FAQ stuff.
It's a player aid back there. No, this is a setup. This is how you set up. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
nice.
want this in every game. Look at, like, now you don't have to open up the rule book and be like, nobody read the rules.
That's true.
I was here to make fun of this game. I want this in every single board game.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's great.
And it's actually nice quality. It's like a nice card stock it's on.
That is clever. I'm blown
nice.
away by this.
Very cool, very cool.
All right. Well, okay, so far it's a hit.
Exactly.
I love it.
All right. And then here's one of the first expansion tiles, so to speak, for the board. Again, people have varying views on art like this.
Yeah, beige.
I actually love it. And I'm going to be honest right now. The reason I love it is because when I was a young lad, I saw Jumanji, and I loved the idea of this game that like existed forever and was old and like an antique, an antiquity type thing. And so, like, early on when all the art looked like this, I loved it because I was like, it feels like a real Jumanji game. So everyone hates it now, but I love it.
The art's not bad, but the chits, I mean, that is some very thin.
It is some thin cardboard. It almost feels. I mean, it is thicker than the cardstock, but it does feel pretty thin. That is true, but nonetheless. Then we got another piece, and then more of the art here. I love the art, especially the frumpy looking people.
Frumpy people.
I wonder if we can get it zoomed in.
Yeah, it's
kind of hard to see, but
a little hard to see. But yeah, they're
frumpy art.
I can attest, they are frumpy.
Indeed. And then here's the player tiles that you'll use or the little player spinner things, the arrows that you'll use to decide where your cubes go from the tower at different points of the game.
There's a cube tower?
Correct, and it's very robust, awesome cube tower actually. So it's actually
Sorry,
right
my
here.
kid just got here. I'm going to acknowledge why I keep looking off screen. So
it's actually a very robust cube tower.
Oh,
comes in its own like baggie here, which is kind of interesting.
That you'll never use again.
Yes, and once it's built.
Wow. Very impressive for an old man game.
Indeed, and the reprint in 2015 does not have one as robust.
See, actually, that is one advantage of these older games. Sometimes they do have like thicker, better made components.
Correct.
Because
not as pretty.
They're not as pretty,
but they're more robust.
Yeah. Yep.
Correct.
So.
And since I'm all about, I did it upside down. Since I'm all about
that base.
All about that base.
Put it together later.
Yeah, I'll put it together. But anyway, so there's a tower. As a key part of the game is there's a tower in one of the parts of the board. And instead of putting your cubes out in the different regions, you can actually put it down in the tower.
Okay.
And then at different points in the game when you're about to score, you decide on your little arrow. Everyone does this secretly. And you move your little arrow that put them together to the different region. That tells you where you want your cubes from that tower to go.
Okay. All right.
And you also score the tower itself. So you get some points for immediately when the tower's revealed. And then once they go out, you can get additional points on which region it goes to. So
that actually sounds pretty cool.
It's fantastic.
Part of this was him trying to sell me on this game, too. I I'm coming in with low expectations.
Indeed.
Actually, that's not true. For all the back and forth we have, I'm okay with classic games. I just don't understand why anybody would choose an older one over a more modern one.
Sure.
Not a game, but the reprint. Like, it could look better. Though this isn't bad. I do like the blue and the yellow. I mean, those are X-Men colors.
Right. And the reprint, actually, the board's really no different. The only big difference they did on the reprint, not the reprint, but the 2015, was they got rid of this scoring. On the original board, it was like this, where it would just tell you, like, turn 1, or, turn 1. I don't know if I can get in there.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and then after turn 3, then you have a scoring round. And it just reminds you to do all the things.
Yeah.
And then turn 4, 5, 6, do all the things. In the reprint, it's 1 through 9. It's just this row, and then this row is turned sideways, so you don't take up Portugal. Yeah. But then when you do that, then Portugal looks really bare. So
that's true.
It's actually
there you go.
So that's how it was. But
okay.
But yeah, so the tower actually goes right here.
Okay. Yep, I see the outline.
Exactly.
Good iconography.
And then you put your little meeples. You put your little not meeples cubes, because the meeples is the one from 2015. I went out of my way to get the one from 2007 so I can have cubes. That's right, people. Cubes are better than meeples, and you put them down in there.
Insane. I will tell you this, Chris. I bought some meeple upgrades for my Lords of Waterdeep.
Okay.
So when I come over, I'll bring these and I'll dump those into my cubes, my cube tower. Okay,
that's fine.
You can use cubes. I'm gonna use meeples so that I know that their little guys are plummeting to their deaths in my tower, the way God intended.
They're on a little island. But so look at that. Now this is also a hallmark of. Well, first of all, just the box. You got the nice high quality insert here. Yeah. All the games back in the 90s had these, but honestly, you think it's funny and how bad this is, where it's just taking up a little bit of the box. Some of the games from a decade prior in the 80s, they didn't have this. It was just stuff in a box.
Yeah.
So
well, these aren't really inserts. They even say what they're made for is to make sure the pieces and shipping don't go boom, boom, boom,
everywhere.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
So that's really the only purpose of it. But this box could have been like pandemic size. Sure. The only reason it's this big is because of this stack of cards can't fit in a smaller box.
Oh, you mean height wise?
Yeah, height wise.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
sure. Because the main size is because of the board, but yeah. So anyways, they would all put like all your components in one big bag. You didn't get like all these bags and pre-bagged or anything like that.
I'm actually not an organizer person.
Oh, really?
I actually don't really like them. Like if they're like custom made organizers, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I'd take plastic bags. Now I feel like the plastic bag, you gotta admit, that is cubes.
Beautiful cubes.
Some cubes are bigger than others.
That's right, because that's the Grande.
The Grande cube.
Exactly.
And the other ones are the
Verte. They're knights.
Okay.
The Venti will actually be bigger. So
really?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
The Venti's the biggest.
I don't understand Starbucks.
I understand. But yeah, so and then the crowning achievement and most famous piece in all of board gaming.
Wow.
The King.
Wow. Okay.
Look at its majesty.
Now, I will say there is some issues with that piece. Some people have said, but I gotta ask though. I got some pieces from 5 tribes here.
Okay.
And you gotta admit, which ones look more inappropriate? I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It's fair.
While this one is now famous, I think these take the crown. Now.
I don't know. Just I don't know. This one is so big and majestic, but it's nice. It feels good though. At the same time, it does feel good in your hand to kind of pick it and just plop it down in one of the different regions. The king is amazing.
I'm restraining myself.
Indeed. So the cool thing about this, like I was talking about the expansions, the base game uses these cards, numbered like 1 to 13. Okay, by the way, let me see if I can get a good zoomed in. Is there any way we can get that focused?
Probably not.
I wish I could get those focused. Because also, in the 2015 edition, so on this edition which is all the art and everything original from the original game, just kind of reprinted. Actually, the only difference is so in true old manness and old gameness, the original printing of the game did not have numbers on the score track.
Nice.
It just had it was just the squares.
Yeah, we didn't invent numbers until the year 2000.
That's correct. So in the 2007 reprinting, they added the numbers, so that helps you. But yeah, the original printing didn't even have the numbers.
You gotta wonder what their decisions were sometimes. Like, I get it.
Like, how did you not think about that?
Yeah, like numbers.
Yeah, well, we're gonna play it with score track, but let's not put any numbers on the score track.
Let's not guess how much.
Not even every 10 or even 50, just 0.
So at the end of the game, how do I know how much I scored? You gotta count each single cube.
Count all the way up. Exactly. It was to promote arithmetic, Daniel.
It did.
But anyways, though. So that's one change from the base game to the 2007. But other than that, everything's the same. So on these cards, it shows.
You want to open these?
Yeah, I guess you can open if you want. Those are the expansion. But anyway, so there was these pictures. Depending, you play these cards depending on the higher number, the lower the number, you get more guys that you can use. And so they have this like picture of this like sad looking like peasant looking dude on here. The 2015 one that has all the meeples changed the old man art to pictures of meeples. And that's what actually broke my camel's back. Like I mean I do want the cubes because there is something perfect and balanced and amazing about cubes, but the art having the meeples on there instead of the little people is what really put me over.
Now I will say these people are not great, but I think choice of using meeples on this is not actually great. So I'll agree with that. Can you guys see them yet? Oh, what about this one here?
There we go. That's a little bit better.
A little better. Honestly, guys, it's not that blurry. This is what they look like. I mean, there's not much more here.
But I love it. And then like here's some other art of the kind of the base game things. So anyways, the way the game works is you play one of those. Each person has a set of cards 1 through 13, and you get more or less people or have more or less power to go first or later with your choices based on the number. And then you play them on these different tiles that give you some abilities. So that's how these work. Now, the expansion, what happened with those is they combined the number system of people along with these cards all together into one single card.
Got it.
So in the normal game, you get 1 through 13 and you play them at these different locations, so to speak, to take an action. And you only have 13, and you can use them once a game. Like, you use your 1, it's gone. You don't get to use it again the rest of the game. What changed that is they changed it from only 13 cards and you play at the location to where the card and the location are 1, and you have 31 different cards to choose from. Before the game begins, everyone chooses which 13 of their 31 they want to use. So, I know one thing I definitely plan to do is teach the game with the base rules and be like, hey, real quick, let's play the game again real fast with this additional, because I think trying to throw it straight to the 31 would be a little confusing. But the game,
not if you're a real gamer.
Sure, but again,
never play the intro game.
But it's not the intro game; it's the main game. These are the expansion cards. So
okay.
Again, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay, gotcha.
But what I'm saying is the game really shines with the expansion. It's fantastic with the base, but it really shines with the expansion. But you're not going to understand what the expansion cards even mean until you've played the base game.
Got it.
So, and then kind of standard, nice black and white, no color rule book.
I mean, this is the rulebook I want.
Exactly.
Actually, you know what? This is why Chris doesn't like to read. He thinks all board games look like this in their rulebook. This is a textbook, Chris. This is not a rulebook.
But you know what?
There's no examples of how to play the game.
But you know what this
I'm gonna get out. This is like studying for a final.
But you know what this does? This keeps cost down. All these unnecessary components make games more expensive than they need to be.
I will spend $5 to get a good rulebook.
Oh, it's not worth it.
No.
Because over the course of 5 games, that's another game I could have had.
No.
100%.
If you can't get through the rules, you can't play the game. It's probably the most component in the game.
Yeah, well.
No, is that it then?
Anyways, that's pretty much it. What's your thoughts on this, Daniel?
Well, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Honestly, I for all seriousness, I really enjoy. Give me that board. Give me that board.
Oh, this thing? It's this that you're talking about.
No, I want the board.
Oh, okay. You really like the board.
I like the board.
Okay.
It's really pretty.
I was very impressed.
But I'm not lying when I'm tell you when I'm motivated by X-Men colors. The deep blue and the yellows. That looks really cool. I'm really a fan of that. I actually really enjoy the way this looks, and the old map. It really comes across well. So no, that's fine. Actually, I'm looking forward to playing this game. This year I played through my collection kind of, so I held Chris hostage. So next year I've kind of made it a commitment to just like let him pick all the games, and other people of course. But
correct. I made a joke that since this year was like Daniel playing his entire collection, that I get to choose next year, and it's just going to be a year of Power Grid. Yes. Nothing but Power Grid over and over and over.
I liked Power Grid when we played it, so.
So, but now that I got El Grande, maybe it's a year of El Grande.
Yeah, there we go. So Also,
yeah.
we forgot to talk about it at the beginning, but me and Chris wanted to get
Correct.
into the 90s theme here.
Mm-hmm.
And also our color. So I got blue, X-Men 92 here.
Correct.
And what's your story
This
here?
is a shirt I got from, there was a band called the OC Supertones. They're still around. And they were big in the 90s, a ska band. And I went and saw them in 97 and bought a shirt just like this. I actually just got this in the mail today. It's a reprint. But hey, we're talking about reprints in the 90s. So, but yeah, I wore this long before orange was my thing. I wore this everywhere. So the other one, I still have it, but you can hardly read the text. It's been worn and washed so many times. So, but yeah, it's like on brand color, on brand old man 97.
I expect to see this in every episode from here on out.
You'll see it a lot, I promise.
All right. Well, we opened up El Grande.
Mm-hmm.
We opened that time capsule, and I gotta admit, it's a lot better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
It smells better than coffee. So that was also a pleasant surprise. I don't like coffee. Sorry.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like and share, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. And we can get you some more regular unboxings, but most of all, those old man unboxings.
All right. Well, until next time, guys, we'll see you
Around the board. See you guys.